All right, you guys. I think I got that recording here. I am Fallon Rave and I am a Diamond Ambassador. I've been doing this for 12 years and I'm excited to do this call with you guys. So I want to talk about um, vision and dreams because everybody has a dream, right? They have goals, dreams, things that they hope to do with their life, things that they want to make changes in, things to better themselves, better their family. Maybe they want more trips. Maybe they need more money. They want to put in a pool. They want to um, do some charities, whatever it is that your dreams are, we all have them. Am I right? Do you guys all have dreams? If you do, just say yes in the chat. If you don't, or you can't think of anything, feel free to say no. Like, I feel content. I have everything that, like, I just couldn't imagine anything bigger. Um, because I've always wondered, well, maybe some people just don't feel that way. Okay. All right, good. Learn to dream again. Yes, Bonnie, that's awesome. We're going to talk about that tonight too. So, the thing I love about Plexus is most dreams cost money, whether it's to travel more or to be able to put your kids in a better school or to be able to afford their sports or to be able to afford a house that's big enough or to afford organic groceries. These are different things that I've thought myself and I've heard on my team. And we have the ability with Plexus to give that to people because we don't need a degree to do what we do. You don't need to go into debt to do what we do, which is huge. That's one of the biggest things with starting your own business is just going into debt. So you don't have to spend a lot of time. You can earn money immediately. You don't have to apply and hope you get the job. You don't have to have a boss telling you what to do. You get to do it on your walking pad like Leah here. And I should have one here too, but you get to do it from your couch. You get to do it from your bed. And we have the ability to build people's dreams by fitting this dream into our own lives. But the Bible says that where there is no vision, the people perish. And that goes for all of life. If you have no vision for where you're going, you are literally dead. There's nothing there. And if you have no vision for where you are going, then your team is dead. The people that you sign up, they have no direction. Their dreams are not going to come true if you do not have vision for yourself and for them and for where you are all going together. So most people have dreams and most people start off with dreams. I have a bunch of teenagers and I know that they have dreams and they have big dreams. But due to past failures or different things like that, just coming up in general in life, we forget to dream. Maybe a lot of things didn't happen. Maybe we thought we were going to go for something, but then we didn't. Fear stops people from reaching their goals and making their dreams happen. They get afraid. Maybe they think that they can't do this or that they wouldn't be good at it, or they have their first person reject them in the business, or somebody they thought would love the products, they just told them no. And so that they let that stop them from their dreams. And your job is to help them remember what is possible. This is, if you just signed up today, like Jennifer, it's if you have been doing this for a year or 2 years or 3 years, or you haven't signed up anybody, or maybe you're a Ruby or an Emerald. It doesn't matter where you're at. Your job is to help your people remember what's possible in life. And that's basically your only job. That's how you create duplication and create business builders and people who want what you want. That is how you do it. People don't need you to hand them a dream. They can do that on their own. They need you to help them see what is possible. And that is our job. So vision is the spark that ignites dreams, and leadership. And I don't even like to use that word because sometimes people will be like, oh, well, I'm not a leader. That not that kind of leadership. We're not talking about that kind of leadership. We're just talking about leading people in their dreams. But leadership starts with vision and a clear picture of your life, one that doesn't exist yet. And your belief becomes the permission that your people need to grow again or to grow for the first time. I remember when I started and people thought I was crazy. Back then, my why was retire my husband, and I wanted to road school from an RV. I thought that would be fun. And so that was my goal. And people were like, you're not going to make any money doing this Plexus thing. Like, you're never going to have that. And they laughed at me, and that was okay. But having that belief in that vision, it helped my team members have the same for themselves. Like, if this is what she thinks is possible, then what could be possible for me? And then when they see your certainty and your clarity, they borrow that belief until it becomes their own. So if somebody doesn't have belief in themselves, maybe they can't get someone to sign up, or maybe they're struggling with closing, or they just don't see in themselves that they could make it to the top or make their dreams come true. You have to have that belief for them. And your vision needs to be contagious. The stronger yours is, the more it spreads and the more it inspires. So I want you guys to be thinking, even after this call, what are your dreams? What is your vision? Number one, for yourself, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, but also for your team and for every single person on your team. What is your vision for them? Your vision doesn't just change your life, it creates a ripple that awakens the dreams of those around you. And living your life with vision and inspiration and excitement and knowing where you're going gives everyone direction around you, whether it's your kids, your spouse, your business builders, a new prospect. If you're just signing up people like, oh, I just got to join, or I'm not really sure if I'll ever make it to Emerald, but I signed someone up, they're going to feel that too. But you have to have that rock solid belief. And if you are doubting it in yourself, borrow it from your sponsor. People who sign you up in this are really great to borrow belief from because they see something in you. That's why they take the time to talk to you or to work with you or to just give you that belief in yourself. So really listen to what you're saying. Let's see. You need to back your vision with massive action, because that is how people are going to see that vision and dreaming is possible because you have action. So when I started, I had some level ones that quit on me maybe 6 months in, and they all came back after they saw me as a Ruby. So I was making a couple $1,000s a month. I was hitting my goals, and they're like, okay, well, maybe there is something to this. So people are always watching. If you're just getting started and they don't join you right away, that's totally normal. They are watching. They are also watching what you put out there. And when you say where you are going and what you want for life, whether it was you want a farm or you want to retire your husband or whatever, they are watching you and they will see those things happen, and that will add credibility to what you're saying. So as a leader or someone who has vision, you also don't get burnt out. I hate it when people say that. We're not burnt out. We don't have leadership fatigue. I've been doing this for 12 years. I do not get sick of what I'm doing. I don't get sick of helping people, striving for more, because I have vision. I have vision for all of you. Those of you who come in and you have goals and you want them, I can see why you are so much better than me. And if I can do this, then you guys can definitely do this. And I really mean that. Like, I am a hot mess. So also, you don't get sick of saying the same things to the same people because your vision is so big. You're constantly bringing in new people. So if you're like, I feel like I'm repeating myself and I'm saying the same things over and over and over again, you need another audience, because casting vision and giving your vision and belief to people is really, really simple. And you're going to say the same things over and over again. But if you feel that way, you're dragging people. You need to find new people who want to dream big or who want to go, or even better, if you have somebody signed up and they're struggling and maybe they're being negative or doubting themselves, help them get some people under them. Do an event for them. Do an event with them, in person or online or whatever. Do a power hour with them. Get them re-excited. Dream with them again. when they start having wins, that is when they start to believe in themselves. Like, oh, maybe I can do this. Maybe I do have what it takes. A lot of times it is necessary to help them through their mindset and negativity and all that doubt, especially at the beginning. That's the biggest hurdle that people have to overcome is their belief in themselves. Okay, so I said that, how simple it really is to just keep sharing the same vision over and over again. Um, and most people, so if you're a leader and you haven't reached your goal, they get tired of saying the same dream and the same vision, and that is why they fail. As a leader, though, you have a viewpoint that people can't see, and it's up to you to keep sharing it. We have social media as our main storefront, and that's the biggest way that you can do it. Are you talking about where you're going instead of just where you are at right now? Sharing where you're going. You're going to Cancun. You're going to earn this trip. Or you're going to Gatlinburg. You're going to Ruby Retreat. Or, you know, we're seeing this dream come true. I remember Sally was talking about that. Like she was buying a dream house that they had on her vision board the day she started. Having that goal and that vision for where she is going is what keeps people excited. And she has that on fire contagiousness that keeps drawing people in. And she's been doing this almost as long as I have. So to cast the vision is to transfer belief to see people's potential that they cannot see yet. So first you're sharing your story and where you're going, and then you're feeding that to them of what you see in them and where they are going. And that's just speaking belief into them. I like to do this when I first message people and tell them why I think they would be amazing at this. I even like to say, you know, when I started, I had no network. I had no friends. And look at you over here. Like, you're basically a celebrity in your hometown. You have all these people who already want what you have. Just calling things out in them, like, you're a really positive and happy person, or you have a really strong, hard work ethic. You show up in the gym every day, or you show up when life gets hard. These are things that you see in somebody. And then call people up. Don't call them out. Speak to who they are becoming as they're working and growing. And just that encouragement of people is really how you cast vision in them. It's what you see when they are doubting themselves that just really fuels that flame. Goodness, Pamela, that's awesome. I love seeing all these new people. You guys are amazing. I love it. Okay, I try not to get distracted by all the comments. So this business too, if you feel like you're saying the same things over and over again, yes, get a new audience, but also that is what we do. We share the same stories over and over again. Sometimes I'm like, aren't people sick of hearing me talk about how my kids didn't have shoes and how I couldn't afford butter, and I was limiting myself to half a piece of a chicken leg for dinner? Like, aren't they sick of hearing like that's where I came from and here's where I am now? But I'll hear people be like, I never heard your story. I'm like, you've been following me for 10 years and you still haven't heard my story. This is why we keep saying the same things over and over and over and over again, because people are watching and maybe they're like me and they just forget everything. You know, that's highly probable. They just forget. So don't just vision cast for your life. You have to cast the vision into their life as well, where you see them on a bad day. Maybe they're struggling to work two jobs and they can't wait to quit their other job so they can do Plexus full time. Just keep them encouraged and give them life. That's one of my favorite things to do. So they also need to see you showing up seriously for your dreams so that they know that you're not quitting on yourself. And this is why it's important to, like, the longer we do this, your dreams have to keep evolving and growing and becoming something more. We're going to talk about just your dreams and how to kind of work that in. But let me see if I even have it wrote down. Sometimes I just don't write these things down. So it's okay. I'll just talk about it right now. So how to create your dream is really important. And your dream can't just be for yourself. Your dream has to be based on other people. It can be your family. It can be your team. For most of us, our dreams are going to involve our family. most of us are not going to get out of bed for a selfish dream just for ourselves. It's just not who we are. I think a lot of us are mothers, and a lot of it is just like seeing the smiles on our kids' faces when they have a Christmas tree full of presents. If Christmas is something that you're struggling to afford, that can be a huge goal, a huge motivator for people to make extra money, or to see them in their jersey or whatever for sports or whatever that they're doing, or getting your kid a really cool birthday gift, whatever it is. Um, Having the people that you love be part of your vision and your goal and your why is what's going to get you out of bed during the hard times. So you need to create personal momentum as well. And then your team is going to see you doing the things, and they are going to get reignited. So this is for those of you who have been around for a while. Your team is watching you. When they see you get joins, they do get excited. When they see you have new silvers, that excites them as well. And you need to keep your own personal momentum so that they can see what is possible as you're hitting goals. As a leader, I always make sure I hit the contest and get the prizes and do all of those things, because my team needs to see me having wins as well. And you need to share those wins. Maybe your points are the highest they've been. Maybe it's the highest they've been this year. Maybe it's the highest ever. Maybe you have more new silvers on your team, or wins with the products even. That's one of my favorite things to see people post on their stories, is what their customers are having results in, because that reminds me, I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably be more consistent with taking my restore. I'm going to go get that. And then that just excites me about why we do what we do. So keeping yourself excited is really important. If your life isn't changing, but you want it to, it's because you don't have a compelling vision that is greater than your fears. And the fears are what stop people from taking action and doing the things, whether it's a fear of what people think. It's also the fear of failing. That's one of the biggest things that I hear, especially when I started. Everybody was afraid of failing. And I just remember the image of the eagle soaring, and it says, I'm afraid that I might fall. And it's like, oh, but darling, what if you soar? You guys have probably all seen that. And that's what I would think. Like, okay, what if I fail? But what if I don't? It's just a matter of shifting your mindset from negative thoughts to a positive thought. And this is coming from someone who is not an eternal optimist. That's my husband. I am more of a realist. But it's so important to keep that positivity of, okay, yeah, but what if you do go on this trip and you don't get sick, Fallon? Let's think about that. And I always reminded of that. So I struggle with the negative thoughts too. But I just want you guys to not think like, oh, what if I fail? Or what if I'm not cut out for this? Or, I've been at this rank for so much longer than I thought I would be. It took several of the diamonds on my team 5 years to hit diamonds. And I think that it's so worth it. You can't crunch a 30-year career into 6 months or a year. I mean, some people do it. They can show us what's possible. But at the end of the day, we're in this for the long haul. This isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. And it is so worth it. There's some things that we're going to be talking about at Ruby Retreat. Just having people hit, say, a certain rank, and then someone's like, well, I thought I would be triple the ranks by now. I've been doing this for such and such amount of years, and they stop working, versus someone who continues struggling and their points are now double of what that person is, who let themselves just slowly sink away into despair and get on the team calls, not on book clubs, might get a join here or there. They don't stay connected to the fire. They're not at events. They don't go to convention. They're not doing those things. And it really makes a difference in their points, because that picture of the iceberg, I'm certain you've all seen it by now. But all that underground work, I remember thinking when I was doing this for more months than I had wanted to, and I wasn't hitting a certain goal. And I was like, no, I'm doing the underground work. I got a lot of mindset stuff I need to fix. I got a lot of excuses that I need to work through. And I did the underground work. And then once I got all that stuff figured out and did a lot of praying for God to bring me people, I went diamond in 9 months, something that I couldn't even get past gold in 2 years. So you never know your story, but yeah, staying close to the fire is so important, and just keep doing the things, even if you're not seeing the progress that you want, because you will have that breakthrough. It will happen as long as you stay doing the things. I promise. Everybody can be successful in this as long as they don't give up on themselves. All right, so quitters, their adversity is greater than their love. So the fear and love, those are both opposites. And if somebody quits, then their fear of failing or fear of what people think or whatever fear you might have, it's greater than your love. Your love for your kids, your love for your spouse, your love is usually what is going to give you those dreams and those goals. I had somebody there, one of their diamond dreams was to be able to take in all the stray rescue dogs that were all around the area. She wasn't going to quit. She had a love for helping all of these dogs that were just roaming everywhere. And she was able to do that because you don't quit. You don't quit on your love. You let that continue to fuel you. And if you have been given a dream, and you all have said that you've been given a dream, then you are meant to inspire, to serve, and to guide others in their dreams, because we're all here together. We're all having dreams for life, and we only get one life. We only get one chance at doing this. And it just feels, for me, it just feels good to cross things off my list and just do the things that I'm supposed to do versus not doing them. Then I don't feel very good about myself. And Leah, you're like on my screen here, and I see you walking, and I'm just thinking as I'm talking about things that I'm not doing that I want to be doing. So I'm going to order that walking pad as soon as I'm done on here because I need to lose some weight. But your vision isn't about you. It's about the people you are called to impact. And that right there, I could probably just stop this whole call right now, because that thought is why I do what I do. It's seeing everybody and their goals and their dreams and knowing that they can have exactly what I have. So I finally was able to buy 100 acres, and it's costed more than the price of this land to get a farm running. But this was my dream and my kids' dream. Like, we'd watch farming documentaries for years and years and years and years. And this was what we all wanted. And so to be able to see them go out and they get all their hunting gear on, and to know that this was not going to be possible before. Like, we rented a lot of houses on a quarter of acres in neighborhoods. Like, it was not possible. And to be able to watch them, that is the love. You're not going to get out of bed just because you want to go to Cancun. Okay, maybe you would. Maybe you take your kids with you or whatever. But whatever your dreams are, you have to let that fuel you, because I've had a lot of hard days. I've had a lot of times where I don't feel like being up at 9 o'clock at night. I'm usually in bed and have showered by now. But these things they're important. And if you have a big why and a big vision, and you see the people on your team, I don't know, I think I might have 40 or 50,000 people on my team by now, and every single one of them has been handed an opportunity to make a difference, whether it's their health or their finances, even if it's only $500. $500 can save a lot of people from bankruptcy, from not being able to pay their bills, so many things, especially now. It can make a huge difference. Okay, so how do we do this? Exactly how we do this. Did I even talk about this? Yes, dreamers quit without direction. So you need to be giving your people direction. And how do you give them direction in this business? Helping them share their story. First, you help them with their why, basically. It's their why. and you help them with that vision for their future. And then you help them share that story. We say facts tell, but stories sell. That is the truth. People connect to your story more than anything. And your story doesn't have to be completed for it to be inspiring for people. I inspired people before I even hit a single one of my goals because I knew where I was going. And leaders don't just build businesses, they build belief in this industry, belief in the products, belief in people, belief in themselves. The number one thing most people lack. So help people break down their excuses. Don't let anything stop you from helping them with their excuses. I had my own excuses. I remember when I put them on a 3x5 card and ripped it up and threw it away, and I wasn't going to let my 5 kids be my excuse anymore. I would have kids screaming, diapers need to be changed, and they were all really little all at the same time. And I was like, no, they are my why. They're why I'm doing this. And I didn't let that stress me out. Sometimes I did, but I learned to stop doing that. Okay, so how do you get back up? If you've lost sight of your dream or your vision or where you're going, how do you get that back? You get back up by rethinking your dream and sharing your dream, sharing your vision, sharing where you are going with your team. This is the end of the month. We have October, which is going to be huge, and it's time to share, write it, put it on social media, talk about it in your stories, where you are going and why you are doing what you're doing. So takeaways are share your story often. It gives others permission to dream again. And then when you're sharing your story, speak belief into your people. And I hope you are all doing that. I feel like you all are pretty good at doing that. But show them the path. Break down their dreams into clear steps. Rank up, pushing for rank, pushing for re-rank, pushing for that last join at the end of the month is one of the best ways to do it. When people can feel the wins, that's how they create momentum. Momentum does not come, or not momentum, motivation. It's the same thing, but motivation does not come to you as you're sitting in your bed waiting to get motivated. Motivation comes after you and your people have wins. They get a join, they feel motivated to get another join. They earn a trip to Cancun, they get motivated to get the next trip, the next prize. You feel motivated after you see the paycheck come in. And this is one way to motivate your husband to be supportive is when they see income coming in. They don't want to be like, well, why are you doing this? They want to see some action. So learning those skills to make those wins happen. And you need to get clear on your own vision. So that would be your homework, you guys. Think about your vision, which is basically your why. The book, Get Over Yourself, it talks about formulating your why. It's really good. And I know it just sounds like something we say often, but if you haven't done it, get back at it and do it again, because that will help you feel motivated to just go and do the work. And then you will feel more motivated to keep going and doing those things and sharing your vision with more people as you're having those wins and they are having those wins too. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week.